Hey, hi, and howdy, sweet friends. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome. If you are new, my name is Courtney. I'm a stay-at-home homeschooling mom who focuses on food and kitchen content here on YouTube. I do grocery hauls every week. I do what's for dinner style videos every week, and lately I have been on a food preservation journey, and I have been sharing that here as well. So that is super fun. If you're interested in any of that content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and even the notification bell so you know when I put out new stuff. Stick around and even check out my playlist. Also, if you like today's video, make sure and smash that like button. All right, y'all, let's get to cooking. So the first meal are these sheet pan sausage fajitas, and I'm just going to tell you up front, like all the meals this week were fabulous, but this was definitely the winner. It was amazing. I was not prepared for how good this was because it was really super simple. So I'm going to start off by making some rice. Now you guys know that we've been eating healthier so far this year. We've been eating a lot of rice because it's a great base for all these different bowls. However, feel free to interchange that with any other grain or like couscous or even potatoes if you wanted to. That would be fine. I just find that rice is very economical, it's very easy, and it kind of goes with anything. So for this week, I made this big batch of cilantro lime rice, and I'm going to use that for all of the dishes this week just to kind of make my life easier. Also, you'll notice there's only 3 dishes this week. It's been a little crazy over at my house. My kids have been sick with all kinds of things, y'all, just all kinds of things. And so I only got 3 meals done this week because I was so busy running back and forth to doctor's appointments and things like that. Anyway, we're making the cilantro lime rice. So I rinsed my rice. I always rinse my rice. Then I let it just saute with an onion in the skillet for a few minutes. And then I went ahead and added in, you could do chicken broth. You guys know I roll with bouillon, so I added in my bouillon and then my water, pop a lid on, put it down on low, and just let it cook till the water's gone. So while that's doing its thing, we're gonna hop over here and prep our veggies. So I have got some diced up bell peppers, I diced up a giant poblano, diced up an onion or sliced up an onion, and then I've got these little grape tomatoes, and these are gonna be the veggies for our fajita bowls. So I just season them with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, some smoked paprika. If you've got plain paprika, that works too, but smoked is so much better. A little bit of chili powder, some lemon or lime juice, whatever you have on hand. And I always like to throw in some Worcestershire sauce because I feel like it just gives this big, bold flavor to any type of fajita dish that I'm making. If you don't have it, it's fine, but I really do think it's fabulous. So I just mixed that all up. I've got a parchment lined sheet pan here, and I'm just gonna throw my veggies on there, and I'm gonna pop them in the oven. I will be linking all the original recipes down below. I made minor changes here, there, and everywhere, as I always do. For instance, I threw in some extra veggies here that were not listed, and I think that's fine. You can really personalize any of these recipes just with a few minor changes, and that's kind of what I do, but I always list the original for you guys so you can make it however you're supposed to at home if you want to just follow the original. All right, so onto our sausage. We're going to season it just exactly the same as we did the veggies minus the oil because I am not using chicken sausage. If I had some, I would have used it, but I just have regular old smoked sausage in my freezer, and it does have a higher fat content than chicken sausage does. So I just made the call to not throw any oil on it because I didn't feel like it needed it. If you are using chicken sausage, throw a little bit of oil on there because it'll need it, but this did not. I'm just going to toss that around, and we're going to let the veggies cook first for a little bit, about 10-ish minutes, and then we will add this sausage to the very same sheet pan that those veggies are hanging out on in our oven. You'll see here, that's what they look like after 10 minutes. I'm just going to give them a quick toss since I have them out. Make sure that they're all cooking evenly and whatnot, things like that. And then we'll add our sausage just like that. I do want to make sure that the sausage is in a single file layer. I don't want it stacked up on top of each other. I'm trying to get them flat, that way they brown. I will also say, following the instructions in the recipe, it said to cook this for an additional 20 minutes, which was probably a little bit on the long side. I would just do 15, or if you want to do the 20 minutes to get the real good roast on your veggies like I did, then flip your sausage halfway through, because mine did get a little dark on one side, which actually was really tasty, but next time I would definitely like flip it or something for sure, just to keep it from getting a little too overcooked. But again, the sausage still turned out fabulous. I was quite surprised. Here's our rice. It's finished cooking, so I'm just winging it with a cilantro lime recipe here. I threw in a little bit of butter because I know that's always in cilantro lime rice recipes, just to kind of loosen up the rice a bit. Just kind of mix it around, and then we're gonna throw in our citrus. Now I know for cilantro lime rice, typically you're supposed to use lemon juice, which I did, but I also threw in some lime juice, and I think hitting it with double doses of citrus gave this a really, really amazing flavor. This was the best cilantro lime rice I've ever made. It was way better than the stuff I get at Chipotle even. I loved it. So definitely double down with both lemon and lime juice if you can, or at the very least, if you're just using one citrus, maybe hit it with a little bit of zest as well. And then I've got about a tablespoon and a half of cilantro there that I diced up, and I'm just stirring that right on in while the rice is still hot. That just helps the essential oils in the cilantro get released and flavor that rice. And this was so good. Best rice I think I have made in a long, long time. My husband could not stop raving about it. He absolutely adored it. It was a great rice to have for the whole week. And you can see there, I threw some black beans, guacamole, a little bit of cheese on there. We've got our sausage and our veggies and our rice. This was so good. Oh my gosh. Best meal of the week. It was absolutely fabulous. If you only do run one recipe from today's video, make sure it's that first one. All right, Chipotle lime shrimp bowls. Now, if you are busy like me during the week, you could totally make a double batch of the veggies and use the leftover veggies and of course our leftover rice for this meal, which is perfectly fine. I'm actually going to make a couple of other things just to show you what you could do if you don't have leftovers. We're going to start off by marinating our shrimp. So I've got a couple of Chipotle peppers with a little bit of sauce. We're throwing some citrus in there, some garlic and onion powder, a little bit of honey, and then you can throw in like cayenne pepper or some of that chili garlic crunch is always one of my favorites. That's what I'm going to use. I love this stuff. It has got some absolutely fabulous flavor in it. The heat is nice. It's not like out of control or anything. And of course it's got that garlic in there. I think it's just wonderful. So I'm throwing in a pretty decent helping of that. And we're going to mix this all up. This is our beautiful marinade for our shrimp. And we're going to let it sit in here at least 20 minutes because, you know, seafood can soak up flavors pretty quickly. But I actually threw this in earlier in the day because I had errands to run on this particular day. So I threw it in earlier in the day before we went out to the orthodontist and stuff, and let it marinate probably for like 3 hours. And oh my goodness, these shrimp had such a beautiful flavor to them. They were just fabulous. So, so good. These would be great in these bowls that I'm making today, but they would also be good just on their own if you don't want to make any kind of bowl. So it's just totally up to you. Once the shrimp were done marinating, I tossed them marinated all right into my skillet. I do leave my Chipotle peppers in there because my son likes them. You can pull them out because they do have skins on them and stuff, but if somebody likes them, you can leave them in, which is what I do. And I'm just going to give these guys a quick cook. You know, shrimp are super, super fast. They only take a couple of minutes. Tossed them in and then flipped them over. And here's our bowls. I've got more black beans because we really like them. I threw some corn out there just to make it fun. I also threw out some green chilies. You can use the kind in the can or roast your own if you happen to be in hatch chili season, which we are about to be. I love to buy them at the store and then freeze them for year-round use. Totally up to you, whichever direction you go. Or like I said, you could use the leftover roasted veggies from the previous night. And then just go ahead and put your shrimp on the plate like that. And again, feel free to kind of alter whatever you put on here. You could always do anything different that you want. I am just going to put some straight up diced avocado on there. I wasn't really in the mood for making guacamole. I just wanted some nice avocado to go with the shrimp because I think shrimp and avocado are beautiful. I've got some tomatoes. I sliced them in half and just put a little salt in there to pull out some of the juice. And then I've got a little cilantro and a little bit of green onion that I'm going to sprinkle on the top for freshness. You could always put some fresh citrus on top as well. And then I'm loving this Bolthouse Farm cilantro lime dressing. It's made with yogurt. It's a little bit healthier, but man, does it pack some awesome flavor. So I just poured that right over the top for a little additional flavor there and some sauciness. And that was our dinner. This was absolutely delicious. Those shrimp were just amazing. And do not skip those fresh tomatoes because let me tell you, they added a beautiful pop to the dish. Our last one is this crispy chicken tikka masala bowls. My family loves tikka masala. Absolutely loves it. I cook it on the stovetop. I cook it in the slow cooker. So when I saw this recipe, I just had to try it. It also includes a slaw, which is what I'm making now. I made this in advance and let it sit for a little while because I had some errands to run on this particular day. But I just went ahead and thin sliced some cabbage, and then I added some salt and some pepper to it and some garlic powder. You could put in any seasonings you want to. I kept it pretty simple. I also have some mint and some cilantro because I really wanted to brighten this with mint, and of course cilantro is just beautiful with food like this. I also have some really finely shredded carrots that I'm adding in there. Then I realized about at this moment that, wow, that bowl's way too small. So I had to dirty up another dish. Disappointment because an extra dish I have to wash. Yuck. But mistakes were made. I moved it all over to a new, bigger bowl. I also threw in some cucumber. The original recipe had like a mint sauce and all kinds of stuff, and I'm just kind of winging it and making something different. And then for my slaw, instead of using mayonnaise, I'm using some plain yogurt, which is a little bit healthier for you and also packs a lot more protein in it. So I went ahead and tossed that in there, and then I'm gonna throw in some lime juice. You could totally do lemon, but I think lime just tastes a little bit better. And then I'm just gonna give it a good shake to mix it up. You could always stir it, but I love to shake it. I just feel like everything incorporates really, really well when I do that. And we've got ourselves a slaw. Let this sit for a couple of minutes to, a couple of hours, and it will taste amazing. Now for the masala dressing, the tikka masala dressing. I started with my confit garlic. Recipe for that is always, or the video for that is always listed below. It's my favorite condiment. I love it. It's so delicious, but you could roast garlic or use garlic powder. Totally up to you. I added about 4 ounces of tomato sauce in here, and I'm just mixing it with that confit garlic, just kind of getting it all nicely incorporated. And if you've ever made homemade tikka masala before, this is really similar. So I'm adding in about a tablespoon of brown sugar. 1, the tomatoes are really acidic and tinny coming from the can, and 2, normally I would put in coconut milk, which has a little sweetness to it, but I'm not going to use a whole can of coconut milk for this, and I didn't have any besides just cans, so I just put in a little heavy cream, and that sugar will kind of help cover the flavor that I don't have from the coconut milk. Next, I added in some citrus in the form of lime juice, but you could totally do lemon. And then we're gonna add in a little bit of cloves and a lot of garam masala. If you don't have garam masala and you don't have access to it, just Google it online. It's just a blend of spices that are commonly used in Indian cuisine, and they are really good. It's like a very warm spice blend. It's fabulous. You can make it at home. It's really not hard. So if you can't get it at the store, no worries, just Google it. I also added in some ginger and a bit of onion powder and a little bit of garlic powder as well. And then some salt, and you can add in cayenne pepper if you want yours to be nice and spicy. I did not. So I just kind of left it at that, but I mixed everything together really, really well. And this is going to be the dressing for our bowl. And as far as the chicken goes, I'm just using bare chicken from the freezer section at the store, and I cooked it in my air fryer. You could cook raw chicken if you wanted to, but I had that and I used it, and I served it with the last of our leftover rice, that slaw that I made, and of course I topped it with the dressing, and that was amazing if you love tikka masala. Anyway, those are the meals for this week. They were healthy, they were affordable, and they were super easy to make. So I hope you will try some of these at home. Again, if you're new, I hope you will stick around and subscribe. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back tomorrow with another homemaking video. I'm making laundry detergent, so I'll see you there. Bye.